My childhood was, I think, pretty normal. I lived in a middle class, and my parents divorced when I was 7. So my mom fell into poverty after that, after the divorce. She needed to put something to eat into or on the table, I want to say, or need to drink, need to smoke, or put gasoline into the car. That was very hard for us and my sister. But this is not what creates psychopathy. Psychopathy is genetic, and it's not something that you can create. You are born with. You can become a psychopath just in the middle of your life because you got a difficult childhood. It's impossible. You know, you got some tests to evaluate psychopathy, like the PCL-R from Robert Hare. It's a test that been tested in prison for evaluating psychopathy and the risk of recidive for a person. I let my little sister drown. We were playing near the family pool with a little plastic golf club. And my mom was inside the house. She was cooking something for us. And I remember there was a sunny day. And we were playing near the family pool. And at one moment, she fell into it. And I looked at her. I didn't jump into the pool. I was not stressed. I was not anxious. My heart doesn't skip a bit. I was looking at her. And at one moment, I was like, maybe I need to do something. So I grabbed the little plastic golf club and I gave it to her and I took her back to the ladder. At this moment, my mom ran out of the house and yelling and screaming, "Why didn't you jump into the pool? You know how to swim." And I looked at her in the eyes and I respond, "Mom, my clothes are clean." And she was shocked. She was like, "Oh my gosh, what the fuck is wrong with you?" You know, that was the first clue, I think. But you know, with a psychopathic child, we tend to think that child are angel. We tend to be more open. We're gonna say, "Oh, it's okay. He's a child. It's a child," you know. But there is some clue, and parents with psychopathic child tend to have big problems because nobody trusts them. Psychologists, they're gonna say it's a child, nothing wrong. But in reality, psychopathy shows itself from the beginning. You know, there is a difference, a really big difference. I didn't understand at the moment. I was like, what's wrong? Because in psychopathy, like I said, there is narcissism. I was like, my clothes are clean, and I'm not gonna make them bad for her or something like that. And for other people, clothes, nothing important, you know. You're gonna jump into the pool to save your family. And into us, this is not the same way. We are selfish, egocentric. When you grow up, you understand that you don't have obligation, but things change. When you are a child, you don't think the same way, you know. Now, it is not like I get responsibilities because psychopaths are not responsible people. But after 2 years of therapy, I understand now that I can get what I want without destroying anybody else. It's like a contract with me and people. I can protect her and she gonna do something for me in return. And I think things evolved, but in a positive way, I want to say. On my side, that was only for an objective, I want to say. Say, always, you get something in mind. You are not here just to be friend or something like that. You are just here to use people and you get rid of them. That's the way of thinking of psychopath. So when you grow up, your parents gonna say, what is wrong with you? You never stay with somebody, you don't have any friends or real friends. We never see the same girl. It's always something new, something on the fire. And I think people can understand that because they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say something is wrong with him. He's glib, superficial. He's always there for an interest or something. He always wants something from people. And when you grew up, you can see other people. You look at them and you're gonna say, I don't feel that way. I know I don't have any relationship like them. And you don't suffer from that. Because people think that psychopath gonna suffer, gonna feel bad. I don't feel anything from that. I don't suffer from any condition. I'm not anxious. I'm not in depression. So it is another way of functioning. When you think like me, you think that everybody around you feel the same way as you. Shallow as me. That's why I always got my shot first, because I think if I don't do it, they're gonna do it. So people gonna say psychopath, they don't know that they are psychopath. Of course, I'm not a psychologist, but they don't know about psychopathy. They think that we are not aware of a condition. And like I said, yes, it is true, but we know that we are different. That's why we act this way. We play the game. We're gonna be very calm at the beginning. We know that. We learn through observation. What is the normal relationship? That's not because you don't feel and you don't give a shit that you don't understand. You need to understand that if you want to get something from somebody, you need to play that game. People tend to believe that psychopaths don't feel emotion, and it is not quite true. We feel emotions, but it is shallow emotions, like proto-emotions, not at the same depth as you. We can feel frustration, anger, joy. I'm very happy. I can feel happiness. I can laugh a lot, but never any guilt, no matter what I've done. Never. I don't regret anything. I'm gonna live once, and I'm gonna do it for myself. I don't have any regret. And by the way, some people, I've seen on my other interview, some people telling that, oh, you destroyed completely your life because you've made an interview, people know who you are. I don't give a shit about what people think of me. I don't need to be loved. I need to do what I have to do. And that's make people know what is psychopathy. So if people criticize me on the internet, if people don't like me, I know my own value. I've attacked people with a baseball bat. I've broke a guy's nose 2 days later. The story went on for some months. You know, there was rivalry between boys at school. And there were three. I was alone. And one day I go to school and I went down in the city to get something for the breakfast. And I've seen them. I passed them into the street. One of them looked at me in the eyes and he told me, I'm gonna break your spine. And I was like, oh boys, you're three, I'm alone. What's the point, guys? I was like, cross any boundaries. So I've played some sickness, I don't feel good, and I called my mom from school to go back home and I prepared the operation. So in Belgium, class end up at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m. I was on the public square where everybody in the city take the bus to go back home. I was there with my baseball bat. I arrived on the public square and I've seen them. At the moment I was with the baseball bat, one of them threw a bag on the floor, he ran away, he let his girlfriend there, and I was like, oh, now the big mouse? Oh, very brave guys. I heard some sirens from police. I was like, oh shit. And I threw my baseball bat under a car. And at this moment, the police car turned into the street very fast. And he blocked me. He jumped out of the car and he told me, don't move. And I was like, oh shit, I'm in a bad situation. So I've been arrested and I've been conducted to the police station. And I was like, nothing wrong. I don't give a shit about what's gonna happen.